This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And it's game number 2 of the doubleheader. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago White Sox. And away we go. It is game number 2. I'm Dan McLaughlin, joined again with Jim Edmonds, the Cardinals Hall of Famer. And Jimmy, game 1, it went about as well as you could expect if you're Mike Schild.
Well as you could have hoped for. I don't know about expecting, but a great game on both sides of the ball. I think in all aspects. You got pitching, you got defense, and you got great at-bats. You got hustle. Adam Wainwright, wow, what a great job he did. Bullpen did a good job. But, yeah, you're right. Everything worked out perfectly, especially the start of that game in the first inning when all 9 guys came to the plate.
Yeah, and the first inning kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, and then Wainwright really, he did the rest, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I just heard him answer a question. He didn't treat this game like anything different, but he looked like he was on a mission. He had his tempo was definitely quicker than normal. He had that look in his eye like he was going to win this game no matter what. I was extremely impressed by his command and his sinker. Obviously, the breaking ball was there and the cutter was there. He had a small strike zone to work with, but, man, he did a great job.
So the Cardinals in that first inning send 9 to the plate. They score 4 runs, and they were off and running, and so were we. And baseball was back. We hope you enjoyed it. Get set. It's game number 2, and it comes your way next. Of Chicago. As we get you set for game number 2, it's the Cardinals and the White Sox. Jake Woodford going for St. Louis, and catching him will be the veteran Matt Wieters. The Wieters had some key home runs last year, this one against San Diego, and then there was one late against Washington. Career highs in those categories, the home runs, the runs batted in. Timely. He's in the lineup today. Going to have plenty of Major League debuts in the next few days. Some more coming up in this game, and one earlier today, that of Dylan Carlson. Went hitless, did have a sliding catch, and he is back in the lineup here for game number 2. Dylan Carlson will be in right field. He was in left field in game 1. What did you take away?
Versatility, you see that right now. He's going to right field now, left field first game. You know what, my first day in the big leagues was ridiculously scary, and I struck out 3 times against Bill Gullickson, who was throwing 83. So it worked out for me in the long run, and I know it's going to work out for him in the long run. I'm just excited that he's here, long awaited, so young. We got to remember he's only 21 years old. He can play defense. He's smart. He's got a great arm. He's just going to have to get used to seeing 2-0 cutters and sliders and stuff like that. That's the only difference. So for him, he's going to have to learn quickly what not to swing at and what to swing at. That's going to be the only difference between the minor leagues and the big leagues.
So Dylan is in the lineup here for game number 2. A look at Mike Schild lineup. Tommy Edman at shortstop, followed by Matt Carpenter. He'll serve as the designated hitter. Then Paul Goldschmidt, Tyler O'Neill, Brad Miller making a season debut. He'll be at third base. The aforementioned Dylan Carlson. Matt Wieters will do the catching. Max Schrock making his Major League debut. Harrison Bader in center field. And by the way, also making a Major League debut will be Jake Woodford, who's on the mound for St. Louis. So it's not only Dylan Carlson. And Matt Foster Tuesday defeated the Tigers, win a couple of innings, 28 pitches, and the right-hander going this afternoon for the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, you talked about the Major League debuts. We're going to see a lot of them, and it's an exciting time as you look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Matt Foster. These are the types of guys you don't get to see a lot. You're going to go on strictly video, but you got to see what the fastball looks like coming out of the hand, and it'll be another test for the offense and see if they can still be pretty much selective, be patient, and yet go out there and do what they did last game, which is hustle, move the ball around a little bit, and just play small ball. Don't try to do too much yet.
Look at that White Sox defense. Jimenez, Robert, Bizarra, the same trio from game 1 around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Moncada, Anderson, Mendick, Abreu, and James McCann is behind the plate. So here we go for game number 2. Cardinals with that win, just their 6th game of the season. They're now 3-3. White Sox with the loss, their 20th game of the year. They're at 500 at 10-10. The top teams so far in baseball, if you're just kind of maybe getting caught back up with the Cardinals back in action, the Cubs are 13-4. We'll have 5 games with Chicago, the Cubbies, beginning on Monday night, doubleheader, really Monday afternoon. The A's are 14-6, Cubs 13-4. Marlins have played good baseball, Yankees, Dodgers. So here we go with game number 2. And the first pitch taken for a ball. I could get used to these 7-inning doubleheaders, I know that.
2 hours and 19 minutes, I believe they said that first game was. This is like we're still just doing the same game, just used to being here 3 hours, and it's like normally like this, maybe the 8th or 9th inning right now.
Yeah.
With a 30-minute break.
Grab a little lunch, sit back down, and here we go.
Switch innings here and there. Just like it's like I went and had lunch, and you got an inning, and then it's my turn.
That's right. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tommy Edman. Boy, he's seeing a ton of changeups.
Well, the book on him especially is maybe one of those things where he's a good hitter and he stays on the ball even with 2 strikes. So you try to get ahead of him, and then you got to try to make him chase with the fastball, because hitters like this stay within themselves even with 2 strikes, and they'll put that off-speed stuff into play like that.
Out in front, but handled by Abreu. He'll step on the bag, and that's the first out.
I'll tell you what, though, I think for me the biggest adjustment that I had to deal with was the changeup. When I came up, it was the split-fingered fastball out of all the closers. Although a lot of the older players are still throwing it, and threw it through my career, and then the changeup. Fortunately for me, like we talked about in the first game, I had a guy like Eduardo Perez who taught me what to look for, how to see it in the glove, and I used that to my advantage. And I either could lay off them or kill some of those changeups, because a lot of them get thrown up in the zone, and if you know they're coming, you can hammer them.
Here's Carpenter, and he looks at a fastball inside. Carpenter, pair of strikeouts in game 1. Bases loaded in that first inning, was hit by a pitch. That brought in a run, and he also flied to center. I've seen you tell hitters, too, against that changeup to spread out with their stance as a way to combat the changeup. That one taken down and in with a changeup, and it's 2-0.
Well, here's the thing. If you look for a changeup and you know it's coming, you're disciplined. You have to be so disciplined that you don't chase, for one. And you have to know what your strength is. For me, it was up and away. I don't want to pull a changeup. I would rather foul it off over the third base dugout, for me, as a left-handed hitter, or try to drive it into center field. The problem is people get so excited when they know it's coming, they try to pull them up into the stands, and as a lefty to a righty, that ball starts to dip away at the last second. You don't actually know where it's going to end up. You just know it's slower, so you try to stay on it as long as you can. You start to pull, you see rollovers, and you see ground balls to seconds, and some not so nice words as guys are running down the first base line.
3-1.
And that's one of the things, too, learning how to be a big league hitter, learning how to be a guest hitter or a guy who reads pitchers, but staying within yourself and not trying to do too much and hitting the pitcher's pitch versus hitting your pitch and hitting it where you're supposed to hit it, and not just trying to blast it into the pull side in the gap.
Here's a 3-1 pitch now to Carpenter, and hits it sharply into the shift. 2 away. Let's take a look at Jim Edmonds' Toyota key to the game.
Well, I think it's going to be simple. Just keep it going. Keep throwing good at-bats out there. Keep having a successful pitcher, out there throwing strikes, trying to keep the pitch limits down. Try to do everything as a team. Actually, even more so, I think, now than you would in a regular season. Do not let yourself get selfish and try to do things on your own. Play that team game and stay together and do the best you can with the limited amount of time that you've had on the field lately.
Goldschmidt, first plate appearance. 1 for 4 in game 1 with a base hit into center his final time up. 2 outs and nobody on, and the 0-1 pitch. Fastball, 0-2. So before today's game, the Cardinals picked up the contracts of Carlson, Nagowski, Seth Elledge, Rob Kaminsky. Ricardo Sanchez is the 29th man available for this doubleheader. And the 0-2 just off the plate. Well, you know, there's some nerves for Max Schrock right now, still for Dylan Carlson, and for the guy that will throw the first pitch for the Cardinals, Jake Woodford. There's a changeup, and he got him.
Good changeup. You know how long those nerves are going to last for Dylan until he gets that first hit. So everyone else right there with him.
Jake Woodford, the 6'4", 220-pounder, 23 years of age, out of Tampa, Florida. One of the top picks a few years ago. And had a tremendous season last year in the minors, added to the 40-man roster, and now making his major league debut, Jake Woodford. And the first batter he gets, Tim Anderson. He'll throw that baseball out, and welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, welcome to the non-strike zone big leagues. Can't throw it any better than that.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. So this will be a bullpen start. Woodford at one point was on the taxi squad for the Cardinals, so not sure how deep he could go into this start here tonight, this afternoon. We'll see. The 2-0 pitch and a ground ball that's hit to Tommy Edman. Up with it, and he gets his first out.
Well, that's a nice job right there. See the White Sox batting order. Nice job right there, the 2-0 cutter.
Anderson, Moncada, Grandal, Abreu, Jimenez, McCann, Robert, Mazzara, and Mendick. The White Sox had a total of 3 hits in the 7 innings in game 1, and Mendick had 2 of the 3. Moncada drove in the only run for Chicago in their 5-1 loss. And the 1-0 pitch. Nasty right there.
Yeah, I like it too. He's able to have the confidence to throw off-speed stuff behind in the count, and that's what you have to do. Talk about the difference between the minor leagues and the big leagues, and it's be able to hit pitches like that. Well, same thing for a pitcher. You have to be able to command all your pitches, especially behind in the count.
I did find it interesting that the Cardinals, in a way, went with Kisner with Wainwright, not Wieters. And then you have Wieters catching Woodford. Slowly hit, tough play here, and he got him. Well, that's a tough play. Tommy Edman.
Look at this kid can play. So exciting to watch play. And going back to what you said about taking another look at this play, Tommy Edman obviously playing way over with the shift, but what a great play.
Just thinking Kisner had caught him in the minor leagues.
Yeah, and I was also thinking what you said makes complete sense, other than the fact that maybe the thought process is you have a veteran catcher now with a rookie pitcher who knows the hitters a little bit better. And you know with Adam and Kisner that Adam knows the league. Kisner knows the league a little bit, but Adam's going to command his own game. So a little bit of thought probably went into that, and I could see how they came up with the combination, which we both said the opposite combination made more sense at the beginning, but when you really think about it, this is probably the better combination.
And again, you don't know how long Woodford goes in the game. Might be only an inning or two, and then you're dealing with a lot of other pitchers too. Yeah,
and you also have a lot of young pitchers that are making their debuts this week or are going to make them, and who better to catch them than the veteran Wieters.
There's a ground ball, and Jake Woodford will enjoy a 1-2-3 inning in his first inning in the big leagues. Welcome to the bigs, Jake Woodford. Nicely done. White Sox and Cardinals here in game number 2 of their doubleheader, and there's no score. And the Cardinals went quietly in the first, and they'll send Tyler O'Neill, Brad Miller, and Dylan Carlson to the plate. Impressive inning by Jake Woodford with 3 ground ball outs.
Couple nice breaking balls, good command. Couple of curveballs slipped out of his hand. Other than that, I mean, first inning ever. Wow.
Tyler O'Neill, couple of strikeouts in game 1. Also singled and hits it into the shift. Anderson makes the play, and there's 1 away. It's time for your T-Mobile ticket to the game. Reds and Pirates series postponed due to a positive COVID-19 test. Steven Strasburg, 10-day IL with a right hand injury. Nelson Cruz, a 448-foot home run against Kansas City. The exit velocity 114. Wow. Here's Brad Miller. Did not see a lot of him in spring training. What we did see of him, positive. And he can hit. He's at third base, and during summer camp dealt with a heel issue. So this is our first look at Brad Miller.
Got a great number.
Yeah, that Tim McCarver number is something else.
I knew that was coming.
That's your number, Jimmy. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Miller. And with the DH in play, the idea would be that he'd see a lot of that designated hitter spot. He is from Orlando, Florida. Plenty of big league time. Made his debut at 13. Been with the Phillies, Cleveland, 6 different positions last year. One season, he popped 30 home runs.
Yeah, that's legit. 30 home runs.
Oh, yeah.
That's not a fluke. A little quick. You see that fastball at 95, and then you get that 85-mile-an-hour changeup. Good changeup.
The 2-2 to Brad Miller. Puts it in play. Foster gloves and makes the throw over to first for the out.
Big time changeup back-to-back right there by Foster.
He's got a good changeup.
Yes,
very good. Here's Dylan Carlson. So if you're just joining us, maybe you missed the first game. He made his debut in left field with a sliding catch. First at bat, he came up with the bases loaded and struck out. He also grounded out to first and flied to deep center. Went 0 for 3.
He's going to get himself a changeup here too.
And a changeup that's taken low.
That's what I like about Dylan right there. He's just up there. He sees the ball. He's not trying to do too much. Yeah, he got beat a couple times in the first game, but you can see he's got a plan. It's not just going up there flailing. Like to see him get this hit out of the way.
Healthy cut, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So if you know a guy has got a good changeup, are you trying to pick up anything?
Man, I am in the video room for hours.
So looking at maybe how he's digging in
Everything.
the glove. Yeah.
The speed of the delivery is different. Arm angle, spin in action, spin rate, glove size, set place, where he sets on his hips or on his belt. Everything. I am trying to figure out anything I can figure out. Because I'll tell you what, to be honest with you too, you don't see spin very well in changeups, especially if he has the same grip as the fastball. The toughest pitch I think to hit and pick up is the changeup because of that same fastball spin. You can see slider, you can see breaking ball, you can see split, but a good changeup is almost impossible to see. Because a good changeup, you won't see a hump out of it like a breaking ball. You won't see spin like a slider. You'll just see arm action and the ball just never gets there.
The 2-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. Swing and a miss.
Like so.
Nasty changeup there. His second strikeout. We're midway through 2 in game 2. Family Insurance home field hero. And in game 1, Adam Wainwright picked up the victory. He is now 3rd all-time in victories for St. Louis. 5 innings, 1 earned. He struck out 3 and walked 3. And with more on that, let's check in with Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Yeah, his team hadn't played in 17 days with barely any chance to prepare for a doubleheader. Pretty good spot for Adam Wainwright to be Adam Wainwright, and he was, as you mentioned, 5 innings, a 1-run ball. Waino told me via Zoom after the game, he treated this game like a normal start, but he said, I spent a fair amount of time preparing mentally. I had to forget I hadn't pitched in weeks. I had to get myself to believe it was just a normal start. I knew the other team was probably smelling blood. I had to be great. Dan, he was, and the Cardinals really needed that.
Yes, they did, and I don't know about you, ball game, but I think we should have the Cat stick around for all 7 innings, if not more.
God, he gives so much good information.
Yes.
Like, he's just a wealth of knowledge.
Matter of fact,
he could sit right in here, kind of right in between us, get his own little table.
Yes,
be a third man
socially
in the booth.
distanced. But, and Cat, if you're up for it, you know, we've missed you.
I would like to. I'll be honest, though. I talked about that video Zoom that they do with the media after. Ball game was part of that. He made a cameo.
Yes,
he did make a cameo.
I did. I had to say hi to my guy, Adam Wainwright. Just making sure everyone's staying on the up and up.
All right, here's Abreu. Second inning now for Jake Woodford. And he froze him. What have you thought of the breaking ball so far here, Jimmy? The breaking ball of Jake Woodford.
I think he's got a good breaking ball. I think this is one of those things. And I saw you kind of raise your eyebrows a couple of times when he's throwing them. That's got to be his bread and butter when he needs to go to something to get himself out of a jam. Yet to see really a good couple of fastballs he's missed with some good pitches. But, you know, right now at the beginning of his career, he's not going to get a whole lot. But you can see he's got some jump on the fastball. He's got a little sinker to go with that. So, I don't know. You know, you see these guys keep coming up, and you're basically looking at the future of the Cardinals every time you see a guy like this.
And with that, that's his first strikeout in the big leagues, one he'll never forget, and a good hitter in Jose Abreu. Brings in Jimenez, the left fielder for Chicago. So 4 up and 4 down, 3 ground ball outs, and the first strikeout for Jake Woodford. Jimenez here, and then James McCann, the catcher. No score, just underway here in game 2 of the doubleheader. And another ground ball taken there very easily.
Max Schrock.
Max Schrock.
First play.
Cardinal defense as we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs. In the outfield, Tyler O'Neill in left, Bader in center, Dylan Carlson in right. Along the infield, Miller at third, Edman at short, Schrock at second, Goldschmidt at first, and Matt Wieters is behind the plate. Around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. James McCann, 375 the average, 3 home runs, and has driven in 5. And the first pitch taken high. You can see a few of those times that he gets underneath that breaking ball, but
well, first
that's
start,
to be expected.
Yeah, first start. Feeling for it a little bit sometimes, maybe trying to overthrow it. A couple of times it looked like it slipped out of his hand, but I mean, wow, be out there for the first time in your career, it's got to be a rush. It's got to be so hard to stay under control.
Another ground ball and another out. Miller, 6 up, 6 down. Nicely done, Jake Woodford. Coming up for St. Louis, Matt Wieters, Max Schrock, and Harrison Bader in a scoreless game.
Scoreless at the top of the third in the second game of this doubleheader today. A few major league debuts for the Cardinals today. In case you missed it, Dylan Carlson making his earlier today. His family gathered down in Southern California to watch his major league debut after making the drive yesterday from Elk Grove, California. Gathered with the rest of his family. Dylan's brother Tanner. I had a chance to speak with Dylan's father Jeff last night via Zoom, asking him how it all went down. He said, my wife came in the room and had Dylan on speakerphone and said, Dylan wants to talk to us. He said, I'm on a call, so just a minute, okay? And he said, no, now you need to get off the call. But Jeff said that he was just speechless. It's a dream come true, or the words that he used. Just very proud of him and all the hard work that Dylan has put in. I asked him, how hard might it be for you guys to not be there in person to watch him make his debut? And he said it'll be tough to not be there in person, but under the circumstances, we're just proud and happy he's going to be able to play the game that he loves, Dan.
Well, Erica, you think about the young men that have a chance to do this, and then you think about mom and dad, brother, sister, coaches, friends, family, everybody that is a part of it, Jimmy, as you know. I mean, you made that debut, and you think about all the people that are part of that journey for a young man to get to this point, make that major league debut. It's awesome.
I mean, it is beyond family. You're talking about coaches and friends, parents that have happened to help you out, and just random people. I mean, it's no limit to all the people that play a role in getting you through everything to the big leagues. And yeah, it all goes through your mind.
So good stuff, Erica. Had the chance to meet Dylan's mom and dad at spring training, and so proud, obviously, of Dylan. And they have another son that's playing college baseball. This is Cody Hewer, the new pitcher, in for Foster, who went 2 innings, gave up no hits, struck out 1. And that pitch taken low and outside. Wieters, then Max Schrock. That'll be his first big league at bat. And then Harrison Bader. And Wieters pulls it into the shift on a hop. 1 away. So we've seen Carlson, Woodford, and now Schrock, 3 debuts in 1 day. The last time the Cardinals saw 3 debuts in 1 day, and this is 2 games, but 1 day, opening day, April 1st of 2008. Rico Washington, Brian Barton, and Kyle McClellan. Back in 2008.
Rico Washington.
Yeah. He had a few pinch hits, a few starts, and that was it. So here is Max Schrock, who's always swung the bat pretty well in the minor leagues.
Good player, too. He's one of those guys. I think he might be just a step behind Tommy Edman as far as running. Defense is awesome to watch. He can hit. He can flat out hit. He's not one of those guys that can really fly, but he puts the bat on the ball, drives it from line to line. Reminds me a lot of Tommy, just without the speed.
2 balls and 1 strike. The follow through may have caught the catcher there. The backswing.
Don't get too close.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Max Schrock. And he pops it foul and out of play. Schrock was part of the Piscotty deal. Munoz came over, and Munoz kind of surprised a lot of people. And Schrock looks at a pitch on the inside corner and strikes out.
Welcome to the big leagues. 98 miles an hour inside, running back, fastball. Not a thing you can do about it. Good pitch.
How in the world did you ever hit Greg Maddux when he was doing that?
Well, the good news is he wasn't throwing 98.
Yeah.
And the other thing was you could look in there and speed up your swing because he didn't throw very hard and then you just tried to spray everything else. The thing about Greg Maddux is you can see the spin out of his hand right away, like for a lefty, so I didn't have to. I panicked a little bit when I knew he was going to throw
the problem was, Jimmy, it was
in.
coming at your hip and wound up over the middle of the plate.
Well, as we got a little bit older, the strike zone got a little bit smaller.
Right.
Thank you that some of those older umpires were out of the league. But, you know, I backed off the plate a little bit and I looked in. Because the one thing he did a lot was he spun cutters in there at you to get you to look in there, and then he threw it at you. And he kind of had a pattern sometimes, so you knew you could look in there. It kind of really started to have trouble with him when he started throwing changeups that actually cut and didn't go away from you.
Bader taps it to third, and the throw gets away. Harrison off and running. To second he goes, diving in head first, and he is safe. Harrison Bader making things happen with his speed. Bader was able to beat a ball out in game 1 and does so here in game 2.
Just does another nice job right here, just getting down the line, putting pressure on the defense. It's one of those plays right there. As a third baseman, you got to come in, do or die with him running. You probably sit back like that, you're not making the play anyway, so you come in, you take your chance. Otherwise, you see what happens.
That's ruled an error on the third baseman, Moncada. And the Cardinals now with an opportunity back to the top of their lineup in Tommy Edman. Edman grounded out to first, and he's 0 for 1. Pick off and back in safely.
Crazy, you can hear everything out there. It sounds like every play is an emergency.
Yeah. Bader 29.9 down to first. That's faster than Tommy Edman. We're talking about Tommy's speed.
Talking about Bader, Edman, and O'Neill are in the top 10 at speed down the line.
Wong's got to be close, you would have to think.
Yep. They might be in the, those three might even be in the top 5 or 6.
A ball and a strike on a check swing, now 1-2. Starting today, 53 games, 29 on the road over the final 44 days of the season. And that includes 10 doubleheaders potentially. MLB app, stats, scores, highlights, and more. Download it now, the MLB app. A ball and 2 strikes on the Cardinals shortstop, Tommy Edman. Doesn't chase at 97. And it's 2-2. So the Cardinals, Jimmy, have 8 games, including today, in the next 5 days, including 3 7-inning doubleheaders.
Yeah, that's going to put a little pressure on the arms and going to play a little fatigue game with some of the players because they haven't really been standing on their feet and doing things. Even though you can simulate trying to get in shape, you can't simulate game speed, the effort, the standing out there, the running, the cutting, back and forth, diving back and forth. There's going to be some tired boys at the end of this week.
The 2-2 pitch again to Tommy Edman. Inside, and he spun away from it. Good at bat here.
This guy's a slinger.
Last time the Cardinals had 3 doubleheaders over a 5-day span was all the way back in 1979. So it doesn't happen very often. 3-2 pitch, Bader at second, and he draws the walk. So with Harrison Bader hustling, getting down the line, and extended the inning, now it's a chance for Matt Carpenter. Hit a ball sharply into the shift his first time up. But this is one of those cases where, with runners at first and second, you can't overshift as much as you'd like. We'll see. There's a ton of room, though, on that left side of the infield. I mean, all kinds of room. They are shifting.
Yep, you got to keep that third baseman close to third, obviously, in case Harry wants to take off. But man, it would be nice. I'll tell you what, kind of how the left-hander or the right-hander could push a ball to second base. Could you imagine if he could push a ball over the shortstop, so where the shortstop could be playing his head, right at the maybe the umpire? You get a base hit and a run scored for sure.
There's a 1-0 pitch to Carpenter. Looks like he was trying to do it with that swing.
Good swing. That is just a good swing, staying inside the ball. See what I'm talking about right there? With that, you stay inside that ball, right? You don't square it up so you foul it off. If you try to get out in front of that ball and it runs from you, you roll over, second base, you're out. Stay inside it, stay through it, and then you either hit it or you foul it back.
The 1-1 pitch.
Oof.
Just missed. Oh. Strike zone in game one was all over the place. I think the strike zone here has been pretty consistent.
Yeah, he's not giving him much, but fortunately, you can't hit that pitch, so fortunately that's not been called a strike yet.
And that guy agreed.
Whew. That is nasty.
The 2-1 pitch. I would have to say that cutout, and then you look at Carpenter's beard, there's a lot of synergy going on between the two.
Synergy.
Lance Barksdale is our home plate umpire and also the crew chief. 2-2 the count. Runners at first and second. And the next two, Carpenter. And Matt lifts a fly ball into center, but that'll be caught. So the Cardinals strand a pair. It'll be Robert, Mazzara, Mendick coming up, and there's no score. Subway restaurants are proud to feature the Cardinals' fan favorite for August, the sweet onion chicken teriyaki sub. It's fueling fans around St. Louis all month long. Jake Woodford in inning number 3. Luis Robert, then Mazzara and Mendick. And a fly ball lifted out to deep right center. Bader gives it a look, and it's gone. A home run, Luis Robert, his third of the season, and it's 1-0 Chicago.
This isn't a great pitch, but you know what this is? This is a great piece of hitting. Stay inside the ball, keep saying it over and over and over, and try to do too much. Let that slider get deep, left it up, but there's a lot of times that ball doesn't get hit like that. That was hit a ton, especially to right center field.
Here's Mazzara, and there's a strike. First hit allowed, and it's a home run.
You're going to give it up. Might as well give it up like that.
Got to earn it.
Is that what they say?
You got it. Well, we have a moment. Let's recognize our season ticket holders of the game. Doug and Karen Jansen, and Carol and Jim Myers. Thanks for your continued dedication to the St. Louis Cardinals. 0-2 the count. And the 0-2 pitch off the plate, and it's 1-2. So far this season, the success for the White Sox has actually been away from home. They're 2-7 after the loss earlier today at home. On the road, they are 8-3. Not sure if there is much home field advantage now with the lack of fans as Schrock makes the play. What do you think?
I think you're right, but the only thing I think is the difference is just being comfortable.
That is your home field advantage.
Yeah, you're at home. You're as a hitter, your backdrop is very similar to everything you see every day. As a pitcher, you're on your mound. That sometimes when you go to a visiting field, the mound seems further away than it does at yours, or closer, or vice versa. Sometimes the mound, as a hitter, looks farther or closer, and it really can play with your head for a while. But if you're going out there the same day, it doesn't matter who's in the stands, and you know exactly where everything is. It does have a little bit of an advantage.
And with what we're all going through in our lives, literally being at home too, the comfort of being at home.
Yeah, that's huge too. I mean, it goes without saying. As far as think about now, I've had to travel a little bit here and there. Not much, but I've been to a hotel while this has been going on. No room service. No, you have to have your mask on at all times. There's no amenities. I was just at my son's baseball tournament, and they didn't even come and clean the room or anything. You had to do it yourself. If you needed a towel, you needed to go down to the front desk to get it. Just different things. It would throw people off, and I just, home field advantage is being at home, and especially without the fans.
Mendick had a couple of base hits in game one. Home teams are winning 51% of the time. That's down from last year.
You just never know, though, right?
Yeah. 3-1 pitch. Good fastball, now 3-2. The 3-2 pitch, Jake Woodford to Danny Mendick. Fastball, and struck him out. His second. Comes back to get him. So first time through this lineup, he's just given up one hit, and that was the home run. Cardinals baseball brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. By Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by the Missouri Lottery, every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Two strikeouts, first time through the lineup, the one hit. And 6 ground ball outs.
Tell you what, he's done a nice job of keeping them all down. He's throwing a good hard fastball that's run a little bit. He's throwing that straight one, throwing the cutter, throwing the slider and the breaking ball. But like you said, the ground balls are what's going to keep him in a game like this and keep him from going back to the minor leagues, to be honest with you, because if you can eat up innings and you can get some outs on ground balls with the stuff that he's got, always looking for that.
Tim Anderson grounded out to short. 0 for 1. He was hitless in game one. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, and he struck him out. So back-to-back Ks. Jake Woodford has struck out 3. And coming up, Paul Goldschmidt. White Sox on top. The Cardinals are proud to partner with Wells Fargo Advisors and thank them for continuing to serve the community through their contributions to Cardinals Care. With Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin, Erica Weston, and Jim Hayes. Our entire crew, great to be back with you. As Birdie will be the third White Sox pitcher this afternoon. We're in the fourth inning. And the Cardinals will send Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Miller to the plate. And St. Louis looking for their first base hit. They have had a man reach via the walk, and that was Tommy Edman. Also, Bader reached on an error. Goldschmidt struck out swinging his first time up.
They just keep bringing guys in, throwing.
I was just going to say
97. The best part is watching it from here. It's so nice because hitting, when you see guys coming in slinging fastballs like that and they're all over the place, it is not fun to hit.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Goldschmidt. And Goldschmidt hits it out to deep left field, and we are tied. Paul Goldschmidt with a home run. Turns it right around, his second home run of the year, and it's a 1-1 game.
Welcome to the game, Birdie.
Our Nissan drive of the game, and no doubt
and you were feeling
about
this,
it.
weren't you? Were you feeling this one?
I looked right at you, and I said,
I was looking down at the score chart.
I said he's going to hit a home run.
Right as I looked up, you're pointing at me, and the ball was leaving the ballpark.
They've been challenging him with fastballs. You could just see it in his final at bat in the end of the doubleheader. He was starting to dial it in of game one.
I tell you, it doesn't take long.
But Jimmy, I make those guesses all the time.
Might be the best thing for these hitters is to have like 3 or 4 doubleheaders.
Yeah.
Just get all your spring training at bats in 1 week. Ooh, 100. How about that? Hundo. Got a little
Century
mad.
mark, Jimmy.
Century mark. That's about Jimmy the Cat's age. Oh, hey, Jimbo. Sorry.
1-1 pitch.
Ooh.
Backs up for a strike.
Well, these young pitchers, boy. Wow. The cat is in the house. Can't talk because he's got his mask on.
He does. The 1-2. That's in the dirt. So you're going to give me credit for calling that or not?
Yeah, I just gave you all kinds of credit on the air right there.
All right. Just want to make sure.
Special. Big T. O'Neill is choked up just a little bit right here.
2-2. And he got him. And now, a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Checking options that channel that game-clinching excitement. Great Southern Bank.
Cat just left. He comes in
Cat
after the
just
home
blew
run, but
us
then
off right
when
there.
somebody strikes out, he leaves.
He's hyperventilating in that mask.
It's Brad Miller. And a swing and a miss. So Miller making his season debut. He grounded out back to the pitcher. First time up. And that was off of Foster, who began this contest for the White Sox.
I mean, this guy is just rearing back and firing it. Look at those, at the old school. I don't even know if I'd call those old school cleats or cleats, socks.
Stirrups.
Yeah, that's a little blend of socks, stirrups, and I don't know what.
Oh, you're talking about Birdie.
Yeah, I'm talking about that style right there. Is that the new style? Not sure if I've ever seen that before.
I haven't.
I've never seen the sock portion come up to the stirrup. Oof, filthy. 92-mile-an-hour changeup. I think those nice socks by the Stance Group. They do a nice job.
2-1 pitch. Then Brad Miller, he may be going kind of the old school.
He is definitely wearing the old school.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it all on right there. Mr. DeWitt would be awfully proud right now.
Love that look.
Yep.
3-2 pitch. And Miller hits it to the right side and can't beat it out. Nice play.
Oh.
Mendick with the play. And there's 2 away.
It's a nice play right here. He goes to his left quickly, covers it up, keeps it actually in his glove. I thought it kind of bounced off his glove towards his chest. He smothers this ball and keeps it in the glove. And it's a nice thing about playing second base right there. You make a play like that, you still have time to get up and just flip it over to first base. You make that play at short or going up the middle, you got no chance.
Now Dylan Carlson struck out back in the 2nd inning. Looking for that elusive first major league hit.
Just a bit outside.
Hit the ball.
It could go on and on for days about that one. I was watching that show, Bull Durham, the other day, and when he's pitching that shutout, and he says, "I want you to hit the ball." He says, "What do you mean? I'm dealing." He says, "I want you to hit the ball." He's like, "All right, Crash, you're whatever you say."
The 1-1.
I want you to hit the ball. Just throwing a no-hitter after 6.
Now, if you're Dylan right now, this is getting a little uncomfortable, isn't it? When you've had 2 go to the backstop like that.
He's trying to overthrow a little bit. They might know each other from the minor leagues. Tell you what, though, this is where in the minor leagues you get after it. You take a big hack here. The big leagues, you might get a changeup.
2-1 pitch. He took a big hack.
98. Good arm. Birdie's got a really nice arm. He looks like he's just stays compact, and he's really just firing it. You're gonna let some go to the backstop every now and then, but for the most part, stay around the plate. Here comes the changeup.
2-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. So you'd had Foster reach 95, Hewer hit 98, Birdie is hit 100.
Yep.
So here we go. The 3-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. On its way. And Carlson yanks it foul at 98 in.
Way in.
And he draws a walk. Good at bat there. So Carlson will take first base, a 2-out walk. Dylan was one of 10 minor leaguers, by the way, that finished the year a season ago, 20 home runs and 20 steals. And he was the first Cardinal to do that since Terry Evans and Tyler Green back in 2006. So a threat to steal, no doubt. Now Matt Wieters, 2 outs, runner at first. And a fastball to 97.
That's pretty quick to the plate right there, though. Not only is it quick to the plate, it's getting there in a hurry, and he's got swing and miss fastballs.
So you're saying it might be a bad combination to steal?
Saying he might not run right here. But you never know.
And the 0-1 pitch to Wieters. Ground ball taken there by Abreu. Home run hit by Paul Goldschmidt, measured at 400 feet and got out in a hurry. One swing, first hit, tied 1-1. Jake Woodford, his major league debut, 3 innings, 1 hit, a run. It was a homer, and that was it. Struck out 3 and a lot of ground ball outs. Our BJC Healthcare difference maker.
34 pitches, too. Just nice job right there. Like what you said, the 1 home run, no big deal. The ground balls were impressive, and the pitch count is amazing for 3 innings.
Genesis Cabrera, our Chevy called to the pen, the hard-throwing lefty. It's a 1-1 game. Home half of the fourth. Moncada, Grandal, and Abreu for the White Sox. Turn that ball over. This guy's got good stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what you're like. These guys, they keep running guys out in the upper 90s with the changeup. And you know what the best part about it is for the pitching side is they're all a little bit effectively wild. I mean, you saw Birdie hit the bull a couple times, put a dent in the sign in the back, and then come back with a nasty changeup and a couple of good fastballs on the black. And you're going to see that here out of Cabrera too.
2-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout for Genesis Cabrera. Let's take a look at our Kia Give It Everything. First out by Genesis Cabrera, but the bullpen, as we had our shutdown of 17 days, but prior to that, man, oh man, was it good. 20 to third and a .86 ERA.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to be good after the shutdown because these guys are just flat out good.
And they were good in game one. John Gant.
No secret.
Giovanni Gallegos striking out the side in the 6th inning. Well, this is where we thought the Cardinals could separate themselves from other teams. Their pitching coming into 2020.
It is definitely not over yet. I mean, they got a lot of work to do, but that talent level hasn't changed. And now you give them a bunch of guys to work with where you can move guys around and up and down and taxi squad and all that other stuff. And man, you could really, if you can work that lineup around and work the 40-man roster, you got yourself an advantage when you got a group of guys like this.
Yasmani Grandal looks at a ball high, and it's a 1-out walk. Help Cardinals Care raise funds to benefit children in the community by purchasing a 50-50 raffle ticket during every weekend game. One winner will be selected on each qualifying game and receive 50% of the pot. Must be in the state of Missouri at time of purchase. Visit cardinals.com/5050 for tickets. So the walk to Yasmani Grandal, and it brings in Abreu. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Fastball taken inside. Right-hander throwing in the bullpen for the White Sox. Dakota Hudson scheduled to go for the Cardinals in Game 3 of this series tomorrow. Outfield shading Abreu just a bit to right center. Infield plays straight up. White Sox have a number of players that come from Cuba. Yasmani Grandal, man at the plate. Jose Abreu, Yoan Moncada, and Luis Robert. That's out of play. Well, you got to think of how tough it is for these players that come from Cuba. You know, how tough it is just to get here, but then to have,
understatement,
you know, their fellow countrymen be a part of the same team. That's got to ease it a little bit.
Oh, there's nothing better than that. And I remember going to winter ball and not knowing what to expect. And there was a couple guys that I actually knew and a guy who had been down there, and the combination made it so much easier. I can't even imagine. The city that I was in, no English was spoken, and you had to fend for yourself. So yeah, whenever you can lean on someone that is like you in a foreign land, it is definitely a helper.
2-2 the count. Went upstairs to whack it into center, and the catch made by Bader. Ball just carried on him a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, he hit that ball solid. You could hear it on TV. It was squared up, and when you're an outfielder and you hear that noise, you better stay back.
You would think, as an outfielder playing in empty ballparks,
You can hear it.
you're going to be able to hear it. And you're going to be able to hear who's to your left, to your right, going in on balls. Guys helping you go back to the wall. Those kind of things that maybe you take for granted
Well, that
with
you
full
can't
stadiums.
hear a lot of times.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going back to the wall and your right or left fielder can tell you as a center fielder that you got room, you got room.
Here's a high fly ball out to deep right. It's at the wall and gone. It's a 2-run homer hit by Jimenez. And the White Sox go back on top. It's now 3-1.
Well, here's the thing. Everyone can hit a fastball. So if you can't locate and you can't get it to where you want it to get, you can see right there, Wieters already knows. Watch how quickly he puts his head down. And you could hear it again on TV. Ball was smoked.
So a 2-run lead for the White Sox, and it brings in James McCann. McCann is grounded out to third, and he's 0 for 1. Cabrera came in a 1-1 game in relief of Jake Woodford. Good breaking ball, drops in for a strike. For Jimenez, that's his 6th home run already. He's driven in 15 in their 21 games.
So you can see why. I mean, that ball right there, he stayed inside it, hit it on the barrel, and it took off.
That was the first home run allowed by the Cardinals bullpen this season. Alex Reyes, the right-hander, starting to throw. He got loose in game 1. That's way inside.
So one thing I've noticed out of Cabrera every time he comes up, he's got good stuff. He gets guys out, but he gets a little erratic. And then when you have to come back in, no matter how hard you throw, you have to throw the ball down the middle, you can get hurt.
Tapped foul, and it's 2-2. And a swing and a miss got him to chase on the changeup. Jimenez, the 2-run shot. Schrock coming up along with Bader and Edman. It's 3-1 White Sox. Fox Sports Midwest brings you Game 3 between the Blues and Canucks Sunday night. We're on the air at 9. Blues live pregame. Blues Canucks Sunday night. Fox Sports Midwest. Canucks lead the series 2-0. Jimmy Cordero, his 10th appearance. Our Chevy called to the pen. His numbers thus far this season. And he's not shy getting in the weight room. And let me guess, he probably throws 95 to 100.
I hope so. With his sleeves rolled up like that.
It's the Gateway Honda dealers home run inning. $1,000 will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri if a Cardinals player hits a home run.
There's a guy who was a closer, and he was with the Nationals for a little bit. He was like 6'9", and he threw like 88 to 90.
John Roush.
And it was so weird. Yeah, John Roush.
Yeah, I remember.
So weird.
And there's a fly ball lifted into shallow right, and it drops in. The first major league hit for Max Schrock. Drops in. It's a base hit into shallow right.
Thank you for playing no doubles right there for the first big league hit for Max.
And they'll throw that baseball out.
Chris Conroy. What a catch, Chris. Just a changeup off the end of the bat with a big swing, and it looked like not only were the outfielders playing deep, they went back on the swing.
Max kind of has that big swing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So the tying run at the plate. Here's Harrison Bader. Yeah, Mr. Cordero is put together pretty well. He's a big dude.
Not a whole lot of firepower coming out of that arm yet.
I'll reserve judgment. I'm going to wait. That's 96.
There it is. He's saving it.
And then they had Kyle Farnsworth.
Woo.
And he was put together and brought it. As Bader taps it foul.
Kyle Farnsworth hit 102 in Chicago before anyone hit 102. And I saw Albert turn around 101 chest high into the street one day.
43, Evan Mark.
No stride and just a simple swing, and wow.
One ball and two strikes as Bader at the slider and spoiled it.
By the way, I ran into Kyle Farnsworth not too long ago. Nice guy, has always been a nice guy. He was intimidating as heck on the mound. Guess what he was doing as of before COVID? He was playing in an adult football league.
What position?
I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, he's still in great shape.
Ooh, almost hit Bader at 98.
Yeah, that almost got you. I don't think he saw that one very well.
And that's out of play. Bader reached on an air, left stranded, back in the third. The 2-2 pitch. And he chops it left side, out at second, the turn, and they call him out.
It's
a double play.
Could have been a triple play right there. He was standing on the bag. Third base. It's a heck of a turn.
That's no argument there from Bader.
Wow.
I didn't think there was any chance, even with the ball hit right at third, that they'd be able to turn this with his speed.
Man, that is close. I'm going to have to take a look at that about the Cardinals. It's a big difference right there.
Sure is. I would think the Cardinals might want to challenge this late in the game.
Yeah, he's safe. I'm surprised. I think as a player now, you've learned. You remember when they first started challenging that everyone was freaking out, saying, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I think guys learned their lesson. Hey, let them, coaching staff, take care of it. Yeah, if you truly believe it, sometimes it's so hard to tell when you're in the heat of the moment. You want to be safe every time.
Well, we have a moment. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. and by McDonald's. Download the McDonald's app for medium fries for just $1 after any Cardinals home run.
Man, that's close. I got to believe this foot is on the bag right there.
The idea, too, now with baseball is that they're trying to make these calls very quickly, very efficiently, because they don't want to have people on the field that long or in a dugout or congregating. They're trying to make the games go fast. I mean, we kind of kid about it, but that's the reality of it. Make the call, make the decision, and move on.
Make the decision and move on. No matter if you get it right sometimes.
Okay, so safe is the call. Call overturned on the challenge, and the hustle of Bader pays off. And the tying run again will come to the plate. That's a big play.
Well, anytime you can get the tying run to the plate over and over and over, you give yourself a better chance.
So Tommy Edman has grounded out to first and also walked back into third. Top of the lineup for St. Louis. Bader, by the way, 8th in Major League Baseball at fewest double plays percentage since he debuted 2017.
That's from the right side.
He's only grounded into 5.
Think about it. I bet you the top of that list, there's probably not even another right-hander on there, if one.
And Edman is hit by the pitch. That's 3 Cardinals that have been hit in the doubleheader today. And it brings in Carpenter.
You're going to get hit. This is the way to do it.
That'll get some activity rolling now in the pen of the White Sox. Don Cooper, the pitching coach, out to visit. You can see on the right sleeve, by the way, of the White Sox, that is a patch being worn in 2020 to honor Ed Farmer. Worked as the club's radio broadcaster for nearly 30 years, passed away back on April 1st at the age of 70. So that's being worn on the right sleeve to honor Ed Farmer. Runners at first and second. Carpenter's about due.
Got some good swings.
Yeah.
Put a couple balls just off the end. Jammed once.
He had a really good summer camp, Jimmy. I thought his swings today have looked okay. Like you were talking about. See, I pay attention to you.
Swing's getting there. Just hasn't hit the ball on the nose yet, other than the ball that he hit.
Into the shift.
Into the shift, yeah.
Yep. And the first pitch is taken for a strike.
A lot of change-ups today.
Runners at first and second. 1 out. The next 2, Carpenter. And that ball gets away. Bader advancing to third. Edman now to second, and a base hit could tie it.
Look how quickly this can happen. Catcher has no chance on this fastball bouncing on the plate. No way you can block that. Nothing James McCann can do right there.
A count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
Hanging change up.
Shift on the right side here for Carpenter. Outfield straight away. And Goldschmidt on deck. It's so big too. I mean, you put 2 in scoring position, eliminates potential of a double play. And if you're Rick Renteria, you're always managing ahead too. You're also thinking about, what if we get Carpenter here, first base open.
Change up again.
And Carpenter hits it to the right side. And with that, that'll score Bader. And it makes it a 1-run lead. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. And it's Paul Goldschmidt taking one deep. Oh. Got out in a hurry. His second home run.
You know what I like about that? The kid that he was hitting off of throwing hard. And he didn't try to do anything but get the bat to the ball. And he did. No movement, not too big of a swing, and ended up with a home run. Good lesson for the young ones.
Tomorrow it'll be game number 3. And our What's on Tap presented by Bud Light Seltzer. Tomorrow, 12:30. We'll come your way. Dakota Hudson and Dallas Keuchel. The Cardinals and the White Sox in game number 3. Our Chevy call to the pen takes us to Evan Marshall.
Look at all those people in the stands.
Well, Jimmy, just focus on this right now.
Man, it would be nice to get back to that. Get back to some normalcy.
We will. Here's Goldschmidt with 2 outs and a runner at third. And a breaking pitch in for a strike. Goldschmidt homered to tie the game at 1. Then a 2-run homer for the White Sox. And that was hit by Jimenez. Cardinals have come back to cut the lead to 3-2.
Stiff crowd out there today.
The 1-1. Another breaking pitch. Goldschmidt first time up, struck out. The home run back in the 4th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. With the tying run down at third. Up the middle, and it's a base hit. This game is tied. Goldschmidt has tied it up. It's 3-3.
Just did him a big time favor trying to throw him a fastball up right there. A lot of times you ask a pitcher to throw fastballs up. They can't really get it up there if that's not their specialty. He didn't get it up there high enough or throw it hard enough. You can see Goldie just puts it in play right back up the middle, not trying to do too much. Good things happen. The base hit all the way. Nobody catches that ball, no matter how many shifts you can put on.
O'Neill now fouls it back.
This might be the guy. This might be your guy right here. The hanging slider.
Why don't you just go out on a limb and say this is your guy?
No, this might be the guy he can do it off of.
All right.
See if he can maybe back one of those sliders up. Oop, or the change up.
And the 0-1 pitch. In the
Got
air,
him.
deep left field, at the wall, gone! My man! My man! What were you saying?
You could just see it coming. That kind of guy.
You called it.
You got to know you got to know what your guy can do. You got to know when to put your guy into the position so he can succeed.
Tyler O'Neill, 2-run homer.
Hanging change up right here. The ball's actually even down and in. But you did him a favor by slowing the game down for him and allow him to get to a pitch that he necessarily is not going to get to if it's a fastball.
What else you want to predict? You good for today?
Yeah, I'm pretty good right now. I'd like to see the bullpen come in and close the game down.
Oh, that was great.
You could see it coming.
Chase that pitch up, and it's 0-2. 5-3 Cardinals. Here in inning number 5, and the third home run hit by Tyler O'Neill this season. Upstairs. The 1-2 off the plate, and it's now 2-2.
Another changeup.
Off the end of the bat, this may drop, and it will. It's a base hit, and Brad Miller has his first Cardinal hit. And Dylan Carlson looking for his first major league hit. He is struck out and he is walked.
Those first major league hits coming right here, Danny. Go maybe double in the gap.
You want to call this one too?
Yep.
All right, he's saying double in the gap.
Little backdoor breaking ball, double in the gap. Oof. Good breaking ball right there.
Runner at first is Brad Miller. And the 0-1 pitch to Dylan Carlson. And Carlson yanks it down the right field line, but foul.
Woo.
He's ready to jump on it.
I was ready to jump out of my seat. Comes that changeup.
Nothing into the count. And that pitch off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
No way he throws him another fastball right here. See what we got.
Miller, your runner at first base, and the 1-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. Spoiled. One ball, 2 strikes, and the next to Carlson. Instead, a check on Miller. Carlson has walked today, still looking for that first hit. And the 1-2 pitch. Carlson pulls it just foul. You see these at-bats are getting better and better and better. I mean, regardless of what happens here, you just see him taking better at-bats.
I'll tell you what, too. His first couple of bats that he got today were against some good pitching, some nasty pitches. And you could see sometimes there's guys that are going to be tougher on guys than other. There's another hang. Let's see if he hangs his changeup right here.
There's a 1-2 pitch. And Carlson taps it foul.
He does a good job of the changeup. He keeps it down, down, down. You really got to look for it and know it's coming, which is hard to do when guys are throwing in the mid-90s. But you got to remember one thing, and we're going to look back at this in a second. But Danny, all of this going on right now, all because of Harrison Bader.
Yes.
Beating out that double play. That was brought to my attention, by the way, of somebody that is actually probably sitting in the clubhouse watching this game on TV. Old Uncle Charlie's paying attention. Great observation.
And the 2-2 pitch to Dylan Carlson. Carlson hits it out to right, base hit. His first major league hit. Carlson around first base, Miller to third. Dylan in safely at second base. Dylan Carlson with his first major league hit. It's a double. My partner's called a home run this inning, and now he said he's going to get a double. Well, he just got a double in his first major league hit, and he gets it off the changeup.
Finally got one up a little bit. He's throwing enough of them where he can see them. Stays back just enough. Look at that. Stays back with the body and can release the hands out there just enough. Really nice job, Dylan. Really nice job. And hustling all the way. I'm telling you what, this team is playing some baseball.
Congratulations, Dylan Carlson, first major league hit. It's a double. We'll step aside. The Gateway Honda dealers home run inning, $1,000 donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation on behalf of Tyler O'Neill. Gateway Honda dealers donating $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. The lefty Fry is in to face switch hitting Matt Wieters. Cardinals had been 1 for 7 against the changeup today, Jimmy. And then Evan Marshall came in. They went 3 for 3 against the changeup.
Different changeup.
Yep.
So two guys before that.
Yep.
With good changeups, good down action. And Marshall's changeup was good. It just had a little hump to it. Just enough when you throw it too many times, especially velocity not being in the upper 90s, being in the lower 90s makes a huge difference. And you throw it enough, guys are going to get to it. It doesn't have to even get hit hard. It just has to get put in play.
Room on the right side of the infield. Shift just a bit. The 2-1 pitch to Wieters. And Wieters pulls it just foul. 2-2 the count with runners at second and third. Alex Reyes is throwing in the Cardinal pen. Ooh, that's just foul.
I think Waino's probably sitting down, relaxing after that nice game. Maybe got his feet up, eating a bag of chips, watching the game on TV. Probably deserves it right about now. A little air conditioning. Big game he pitched today.
No doubt. The 2-2. Fry steps off.
And it's funny that Adam texted us right there and was talking about that. But you think about that. We went from 2 outs and nobody on. We were still 1 out with only 1 runner on base, and that was because of Harrison Bader. And now they've ended up pushing 4 runs across the plate. You had nothing going.
Jimmy,
in a hustle play.
Literally
by a
centimeter.
By a hair. Well, we talked about after the first game, they hustled, they ran hard, and they've done the same thing today. And that play right there by Harry made all the difference in the world in this game.
Nearly 1,000 at-bats for Bader. He's grounded into a total of 5 double plays in his career. The 2-2. And he got him. So a strikeout of Wieters, but big inning for the Cardinals. The home run hit by Tyler O'Neill and the first major league hit for Dylan Carlson, a double.
The Cards get 4 in the top of the 5th and lead at 5-3 in Chicago. With the Cardinals pausing their schedule, they have a lot of ground to make up to get to that 60 games, including today. That would mean 53 games in 44 days, and that means a lot of doubleheaders. John Mozeliak believes it's doable. He told me all of us want to strive to get there. We will likely always have a 29-man roster, and the doubleheaders are only 7-inning games. Yes, there will be long days, but from a realistic standpoint, it is manageable. Danny, lots of baseball. I think that's a good thing.
Oh, is it ever? We've been missing it, so we want to see it.
I think that's a good point Jimmy brings up, too, is everything's manageable. You got to take one day at a time. You've got to take care of your players. You've got to work that roster. But everything's manageable. It's not like they haven't played 20 games in a row before, or done a 3-city, 4-city tour. Like it happens. So I think if you look forward and worry about what's coming up in the future, you're going to miss the present. And right now, you think about today, they play in 2 7-inning games. What's the big deal? You got a lot of healthy guys that haven't played in a while. So be it. Tomorrow's another day. Day after that's another day.
Luis Robert to face Alex Reyes. That first pitch, by the way, was 98 from Alex Reyes.
Nice to see Alex Reyes back in the big leagues. Alex, welcome back. We have been waiting.
97. I was told when he was in Springfield, gradually velocity was starting to get back, and we're seeing that here.
Yeah.
He had 96, 97, 98.
You remember when he came back the first time, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't letting it go. It didn't seem like it.
Robert, then Mazzara, and Mendick.
Ooh. Pitch.
Two and two the count. The 2-2 pitch from Alex Reyes. Fastball at 99 and struck him out.
You know what I'm seeing right here, too? That's a smooth 99. I felt like right before he got hurt, when he came back from his last injury, he was really pushing to get to 94, 95. He was real, his body was everywhere. He was losing his mechanics. And that right there looked, I wouldn't say effortless, but pretty smooth and easy. And that's what he's known for.
And now Nomar Mazzara with one out here in the home half of the fifth. What we also saw in spring, and Jimmy, we did a few games together and Alex pitched, is that he could get an out or two or have a clean inning. And then it was the next inning, it'd be one bad pitch.
Yeah.
And it'd be a home run.
And then confidence wrecker, and if your confidence in your arm is not there and you give up some runs or some out or some hits and some walks on the mound, and that's double the confidence problems, it really starts to weigh on you. And like we were talking about with Adam in the first game, you get a little frustrated with the strike zone, let's say. You're not getting your pitches. And then you might now think, okay, now you're behind, and now I got to make a better pitch. And a better pitch, and a better pitch. And you can see guys grinding on the mound that shouldn't have to. And so that's, like I said, we're talking about with like Alex, a young guy, confidence is everything. And when the ball's flying out of your hand like it just did, it's easy. When you're grinding it out, it makes it tough.
We have not seen Alex Reyes in a major league game since April 5th of 2019.
Crazy.
A lot of spring training, and the idea was to, get him on track again in the minor leagues.
I'm actually happy and surprised that we're seeing him right now, to be honest with you.
2-1 pitch. And hit out of play. 98 from Reyes. Love seeing where the velocity is here.
Gotta get that ball inside. Gotta pitch guys in. Even though you're throwing that hard, you can see how easy a left-handed hitter especially can just flip at that ball and foul it off. Gotta keep him off balance with something coming inward. Either the fastball in or the slider in.
It's something to keep him honest, is what
You
you're
have
saying.
to just speed them up a little bit. That's why you see all the good ones pitch inside. You have to just let them know that you can. When they start guessing and let them know that you can get in there, they got to speed up every now and then. They just can't flip at pitches.
That's to the backstop.
Changes eye angle a little bit.
A little bit. Cardinals do have a lefty in their pen. I think the idea would be, too, is that if they see him labor at all or get, you know, a little lack of control, they'll get him right out of there.
Oh. Right now, he doesn't seem to be laboring at all, which is...
He got him. So back-to-back Ks for Alex Reyes.
Well, you can see right there, that ball, we didn't get a good look at that, but that's not the fastball away. Talk about having to go inside. You see right there, he tries to go inside, he gets it in there. The hitter has no chance because he just got 7 in a row outside where he was flicking at it, and then as soon as you don't get that pitch, you got no chance. You can't speed up that quick and move the bat head through the zone and able to put that ball in play.
So 2 outs and a fastball at 98. You know, ideally you get this inning through and call it a day.
Yep. Something positive. Keep moving forward.
Mendick struck out back in the 3rd.
Big breaking ball. That was so nasty.
Wait till he gets it all together. I mean, we've been saying that a
ball,
lot,
they're
but
not hanging that. They're
yeah.
not laying off of that pitch right there.
'97 and a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Two and 2. He struck out Robert. He got Bizarre on a 3-2. And now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Danny Mendick. The 2-2 pitch, Alex Reyes. And time is called. Saw Giovanni Gallegos strike out the side in the 6th in Game 1. Reyes trying to do it here in inning number 5 of Game 2. The 2-2 hit out of play. Nothing fancy here. He's just rearing back and letting it go.
Yep. These are those types of hitters that just try to put the ball in play with 2 strikes. Got to be careful. You can't throw a get me over slider, get me over breaking ball. It's going to keep pushing foul balls to the right. You got to come inside right there.
He strikes out the side. Alex Reyes, welcome back. And welcome back, Cardinals. Trying to sweep the doubleheader. It's 5-3.
Cardinals in the top of the 6th inning. Yesterday, Mike Shildt called this a 4th chance for his team, considering all of the stops and restarts that they've dealt with this season due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said he's lost a lot of sleep recently for all the people that have been impacted, but he said moving forward, they'll be even more mindful of the protocols, even more so than they already were. He said, I don't think you'll have anybody touch on this field the rest of the year. Our dugouts will be even more sterile. We'll limit exposure in the clubhouse. We're going to show up later to the ballpark too. Go old school, just show up and get after it and compete. After the first game this afternoon, Adam Wainwright said one of the most notable things to him was how empty the dugout was. Stan?
Going through all these protocols, and you can understand why, as Schrock has his 2nd hit in the big leagues. And I don't blame him.
Well, it's tough, you know, and you know this world we're living in too. Everyone takes shots at the people that are down, assuming they're doing something wrong. They were catching a lot of heat, you know, behind the scenes, and Miami was catching a lot of heat, and then New York was, you know, everyone was catching heat, and everyone was just doing what they were supposed to do and what they were told to do. Yeah, it was unfortunate it started, and I don't know how you can keep it out of the locker room once it gets in there. As close-knit as these guys are, no matter what's going on. But I thought they did a nice job. Not a lot of guys got too frustrated. They dealt with it. They were asked to drive to Chicago. They dealt with it. I mean, these guys want to play. They could easily have folded it up, packed up their bags, and see you later, and here they are.
You would know better than I, but I've said from day one, these guys want to compete, man.
Yeah. I mean, they do. I'm sure there's a few guys that are frustrated, and
of course,
you know,
how could you not
I feel
be?
bad. Look at Willie's at home now. He's worried, you know, for his health, and I'm sure there's a few guys in there that are still kind of worried about their health. But it is. I'll tell you one thing. The hardest thing to do is leave your teammates behind. And you know, to make that decision, even to go back in for a coach like Willie, I know Willie so well, and I know he must have gone over that scenario over and over and over. And these guys just do not want to leave each other behind.
Bader, a ground ball to third, out there, and this time they got him.
What are the chances of that happening in the same game twice? This is identical.
It was back in the fifth. He beat it out after they reviewed it. This time they got him.
Just hit this one a little bit harder. Got a candy hop perfect. Good turn.
Now Tommy Edman, after the double plays, we play here in the top of the sixth. And a breaking ball and a strike. Tyler Webb is throwing in the Cardinals' pen. I'm not sure you could draw up today so far any better than what's happened here for the Cardinals. We really had no idea what to expect. Would guys, you know, be overmatched at the plate? They haven't been seeing live pitching. Would Waino be Waino? You don't know.
Of course he is. He always is.
And he was. Alex Reyes coming out, strikes out the side.
All that in a bag of chips.
Feet up on the
bed.
Right. Dylan Carlson, double in his debut. I mean, it's gone about as well as you could hope. Two-two. And a strikeout of Tommy Edman. Let's see if they can keep it going. Bottom of the sixth rolls in when we come back in game two. '20 Hall of Fame class. Tom Hurd, John Tudor, and Bill White. Edward Jones is proud to partner with the Cardinals to recognize the organization's most cherished assets, and that's their Hall of Famers. Edward Jones. Here's Tyler Webb in our Chevy Colt to the pen. No walks, couple of strikeouts in 2 1/3. And the first pitch floats in there for a strike. The top of the Sox lineup, and that means Tim Anderson. 5-3 St. Louis. Cardinals took game one, 5-1. We're talking about guys earlier that hide the ball. I think Webb must hide the ball very well, Jimmy. A lot of late swings for a guy that's not throwing middle to upper 90s.
Yeah, he kind of keeps, well, first of all, you see that shoulder tucked.
Slowly hit left side. Miller with the play, and there's one away.
You can kind of see when he stands up there, he's closed. And he's got his back basically facing the hitter, and then when he pulls the ball out of the glove, he pulls it right alongside of his hip. So yeah, I think he does hide the ball well. That's a great observation by you, because we sit here and see the late swings, but you have to kind of look at the whole thing and wonder why the late swings are and where they're coming from. Look how tight he is to the body with everything.
Don't see it, and then it just kind of jumps.
Yep. And he's a big guy.
Yep. If you look at his season last year, especially the second half, he was one of the better relievers in baseball. Again, late swing,
90
Moncada.
miles an hour.
Yep.
Late. little crossfire in lefty too. It's like little crossfire, kind of runs in at you as a right-handed hitter, which you don't normally see. But it's not running at you; he's just throwing it at you, right there. Kind of ball's more coming from the first base side, and it's just like a direct angle on the inner half. There's no tail. It's just there. It's almost like, it almost looks like it's cutting, but it's just far over to the first base side of the mound. It just kind of comes right at you.
2-2 the count. Moncada at the plate, grounded into the shift. Really good play by Tommy Edman back in the first. And he struck out in the fourth. You know, not to be overlooked too, Jake Woodford in this game, his start.
Great start. Great start in a big spot for a rookie. First start. To be able to do what he did. I mean, they keep throwing guys out there, and they just keep doing their thing.
1 out walk. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. And by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, guardians of childhood. We have undoubtedly the best crew in baseball. Tom Mee, Brian Shapiro, Brian McCann, Keith O'Brien. And great to be back with them today. And Jim Edmonds, Erica Weston, Jim Hayes, Dan McLaughlin with you. Those folks putting in a lot of hours to pull all this off. So thank you very much. Here's Grandal, and that pitch taken inside. It is quite the operation we have going here, Jimmy, as you well know.
A lot of starts and stops. A lot of people going full speed, and parachute has to come out.
Had him out in front, popped up. Schrock in a few steps to make the catch. And I know a lot of fans may not know this, but some do, some don't. But we are in a studio doing these games in St. Louis. And so to have this be pulled off, it's a technical challenge. Let's just put it that way. And our crew has done just a magnificent job at Fox Sports Midwest, and we thank them very much for all their hard work.
Last time we worked together, I had somebody approach me and ask me how I got home so quickly from Minnesota, because I was in the gym the next morning.
You had the Edmonds jet, huh?
Yeah. Edmonds truck.
Here's Abreu. So this is it's a big matchup here. It's a guy that could lose one in a hurry. Nobody throwing in the Cardinal pen.
And this is that rule that we've been talking. This is your 3-hitter limit situation where you're going to bring a guy in. He's going to have to face a guy like Abreu, and what you would normally do in a situation would be hopefully he gets that third out ahead, or you have an open base you can pitch around somebody, and some of these guys are going to have to pitch to a stud who's the opposite handed, and you're going to have to figure out how to get guys out like this, or maybe put a guy on base in a tricky situation. Just change the game a little bit, especially the way some guys are going to have to pitch.
Well, you know he's got the green light on 3-0. He could tie it up.
He's going to get a changeup right here too.
And with that, a changeup on 3-0, the Cardinals get out of it.
Not good hitting right there.
So Tyler Webb comes away unscathed. And the Cardinals have Carpenter, Goldschmidt, O'Neill due up. And they're looking for a doubleheader sweep. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 5-3 Cardinals. Steve Cishek, he was with St. Louis for a brief run. Sidewinder, Chevy Cole to the pen, spent some time with the Chicago Cubs. Facing Matt Carpenter. Carpenter with a run batted in today. He's lined out and also grounded out. Tyler O'Neill with a 2-run homer back in inning number 5 as Carpenter against the shift picks up the base hit.
Take the hit. Take the hit.
Catcher
I like that
interference
swing right
on
there.
that.
I like the swing right there, though. That's the kind of swing. Because I've been trying to teach my son he watches these guys, right? He wonders why this guy pulls the ball, this guy pulls the ball, this guy hits the ball the other way. I've been trying to teach him the lower the ball is, the more you want to stay inside out. Look at this swing right here. Inside out. You know what happens if he tries to yank that ball? He pulls it foul or he rolls over it. And the good thing is the way he swings at that is because of the pitcher being underneath and he's waiting for the ball to run away from him. But that's just a really good inside-out swing for a ball that's middle in.
I don't know if you agree with this, but in my estimation, I think Goldschmidt is off the plate a little bit more today.
I heard you say that earlier when we were off the air. And I think that he might be open and not getting closed as much as normal.
He's definitely more open.
What makes him appear like he's not closer to the plate. Sometimes when you're in the same spot, but you might open that toe, you might look further from the plate, and he's definitely not coming closed like he has in the past. Ooh, watch out.
Yeah. Now, why would he do that? He's just getting tied up a little bit?
I think that, you know what, when you're at home and you don't get a lot of at-bats and you're tinkering with things and you think, oh, my hands might be a little bit slow or I might not be able to see pitches as well as I thought, I might just open up a little bit just to try to get the hips cleared quicker, maybe to see things a little bit more. There's a lot of reasons. Maybe he just felt better. Maybe he didn't even realize it one day. You know, you talk to guys and they're like, hey, do you realize you're open? And they're like, no, I'm not open. You look at them and you're like, yeah, you're pointing towards shortstop. If people just, you might not even know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one thing, though, the biggest thing that guys get into is when they start to load up and they turn their back, and when you can start seeing their numbers from the center field camera, that creates a lot of problems because then you got to swing wide open to get the bat back around. So anything to keep you from turning in first is definitely going to help.
2-2 the count. Carpenter, the runner at first. Andrew Miller is throwing in the Cardinal pen. And the next to Goldschmidt, who is homered today, is tapped foul.
I love that. Goldie's homer is just so perfect by the book. He didn't try to do much. This guy's throwing 100 miles an hour. He really just threw the head out there, hit the barrel, and a great result. Old school player, choking up, not always trying to do too much.
2-2. And a fly ball lifted into right. Going towards the line, and the catch is made. If you can't catch a game on television, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app. Log in. Stream the Cardinals, presented by T-Mobile. So 1 out. And Tyler O'Neill. Ground out, strikeout, and then he struck with a 2-run homer.
Who would have thought?
Can't believe people that predict that stuff sometimes. And if you're just joining us, as Jimmy, of course, leads himself into me bringing it up again, predicted the 2-run homer. And then the double by Carlson. I predicted the home run by Goldschmidt.
You did.
So
Your prediction was better.
I'm going to pat myself on the
back.
back.
Your prediction was better. You had a tougher choice with the pitcher and the hitter.
Yeah, a guy that had 34 home runs last year.
I think I had a good matchup. I didn't think your matchup was as favorable. It's like I don't think my matchup here with O'Neill is as favorable. But like I said, unless he spins a slider in there. Fastball, not so much. You got to really stay back, or he's got to let one go a little off. Spins a slider, look out.
I'd love to see Carlson or Miller against Cishek. I love lefties against Cishek because of the way he throws.
Sometimes these guys that throw like that, they'll throw a ball and not have a lot of velocity, and they'll kind of run back over the plate. Some guys will throw the ball and force seam it, and it'll stay in there. That's what Webb was doing to the righties. The ball wasn't coming back. It was staying in there, and that's a hard pitch to pick up. Oh, there it was.
2-2, and that's lifted into the gap in left center. Carpenter to third, O'Neill to second, and he's got a double.
That was the pitch. Take the double anytime.
Didn't have the sharp break.
I tell you what.
So the one-out double, and now Miller.
I would like to see Dylan Carlson get one more shot during this game. Got another at bat, something to go home to sleep on, think about. Hopefully a positive at bat.
Infield drawn in with the White Sox trailing by 2. And Miller hits a high fly ball. Out to deep right at the wall, and it's caught up against the wall. Carpenter will tag. And O'Neill tagging up from second to third.
I tell you, there's that Chicago wind. I promise you that wind is blowing up there. Ball just got knocked down a little bit. You can tell how the outfielders react. They go back, and all of a sudden they just stop. That means the ball just stopped carrying. We did the home run derby there one year, 03, maybe 04, and you couldn't hit a ball at right center field. You had to hit the ball down the line or into left center field.
There's Carlson, a double. His last time up, 1 for 2.
Yeah, I'd love to see his first career home run right here, Danny.
And Dylan shoots it the other way. This ball is going to be caught on the track by Robert.
Good swing.
Cardinals pick up some insurance. Looking for a sweep, 3 outs away. Cardinal Glennon and Homers for Health, make your pledge today. They are back. Paul DeYoung, Matt Carpenter, and you. Homers for Health, homersforhealth.org. So the Cardinals are 3 outs away from a sweep potentially here in Chicago. Chevy called to the pen. Andrew Miller is in. (6-3) our score. Jimenez at the plate. Carlson and Schrock both with their first, as you get a look at Colton Wong. Schrock out, but Schrock and Carlson first major league hits in the same game. Last time that happened was Aledmus Diaz and Jeremy Hazelbaker. They did that in 2016 on the ground and a base hit into center. Hustling over. It's Harrison Bader to hold him to a single. 2-hit day for Jimenez.
He's got a good swing. Stays inside the ball, doesn't try to do too much. It's like he picks his, you got to pick your pitcher, right? Get a good lefty that's throwing hard, you stay through it and swing hard. You get a guy like this who's going to move the ball around. Just try to stay within yourself. Pretty nice player.
And now James McCann, he is grounded out and struck out. Alex Reyes struck out the side. We saw Gallegos do that in game 1. Jake Woodford, a major league debut with 3 innings, gave up just 1 run, 1 hit, home run. That was it. Adam Wainwright picked up a victory in game 1, 5 strong innings. Moving ahead of Bob Forsch, 3rd place all time, the wins list in Cardinal history. And there's a strike by Miller. It's a team that could strike. Jimenez leads their team with 6 home runs, but they've got 5 players with 3 or more. 9 that have 2 or more home runs. So you don't feel safe, is the point. 2 balls and 1 strike.
You can never feel safe in this baseball era.
No.
We'll go back with the juice ball era again. Balls are so loud and traveling so far.
You mentioned the wind, and there's ominous skies overhead. There's rain in the forecast, and the wind apparently has picked up a bit in Chicago.
It's a little swirly out there at sometimes. You never know. You got to keep your eye on that flag, especially when the storm front comes in. It'll be blowing in, blowing in. Next thing you know, it's blowing out.
Three and 2 the count. And the next by Miller. He got him. Got McCann to chase. Would have been ball 4, and that's a big pick-me-up for Miller and the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's happy right here. McCann chased this pitch. Definitely don't want to put the tying run to the plate here in the last inning.
Here's Luis Roberts, and tapped foul for strike 1. Back in the 3rd inning, a solo home run. That was the only hit allowed by Jake Woodford.
A great swing too. These guys have a bunch of young players that can hit. I just love the fact when you see hitters like that stay back with that much power and not try to do too much.
Well, they are building. They've got a lot of young players, period, coming. 2019 last year, 72 and 89. That was a 10-game improvement from the year before when they won only 62 games and lost 100. Lifted in the air to Bader in center. Backs up a step or 2, makes the catch. And with that, there's 2 away. So 2 outs and a runner at first. And wouldn't this be something? After a 17-day layoff, the Cardinals come out and sweep a doubleheader. They're 1 out away from doing that.
I'm staying away from that right now.
Understood.
I'll let you take the fall for that one.
Oh, please, Andrew, get this out.
Oh, please. We're going to get killed.
Here's Mazzara, and there's ball 1.
No. He's got a no-hitter.
Well, it's 7 inning games. You can't worry about that.
No.
That's to the backstop. And the runner, Jimenez, will advance.
Oh, between the legs.
That went between the legs,
That
didn't
went
it?
between the legs.
Did that not hit him?
I would have started walking to first no matter what.
Encarnacion. Popped up and out of play.
I don't know about you, but this guy's got to do the damage for me. You can't put him on. You got to let him hit a 2-run homer. Beat the ball down, hopefully hit something on the ground. Cannot let him reach base via the walk right now.
This is the first plate appearance the White Sox have had with a runner in scoring position in this game. That's a strike at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You definitely do not want to see Tim Anderson come to the plate in this situation.
The 2-2 pitch. See, he's really struggling with that slider right now.
Yeah, he's just not getting there. All types of reasons for that.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Cardinals have a sweep of the doubleheader. Back in action, and they win 2.
You cannot put your wish list out there and get a bigger day if you're Mike Shildt.
It's incredible.
What a great job by every single guy out there in uniform today. Adam, I know you're watching. Great job. Harrison Bader with the legging out that double play ball keeps that inning alive. They scored 4 runs, and you said it, Danny. The sweep of a doubleheader after laying off for 17 days. Great job.
6-3 the final. Back to wrap it up in a moment.